Moving on, over 222 pilots across all Germany refused to fly out refugees as part of the deportation drive, whose asylum applications have been rejected. As per information in the German media, the German pilots wanted to play no part in the controversial decision where asylum seekers from Afghanistan were to be deported back, as Afghanistan, in some cases, has been deemed as a safe country, despite the violence and bloodshed in the country. From the month of January earlier this year, 85 of the refusals came from the Germany's main airline, Lufthansa, and its subsidiary Eurowings. About 140 flights were cancelled from Frankfurt and another 40 from the Düsseldorf airport. Lufthansa spokesman Michael Lamberty has defended the pilots, stating that it is perfectly within the mandate of a pilot duties where he can choose to fly out or not. Lamberty further added that some of the pilots do speak with people who are being deported and treat them like normal passengers. Despite the sharp spike in the number of deportations ordered by Germany in the last year, Germany also was the most favoured nation for refugees and asylum seekers into the European Union. Just in 2017, Germany reportedly has processed more number applications of asylum seekers than the rest of Europe put together. And joining us from the newsroom, we have our senior foreign editor, Padma Rao, on this. Padma, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. It's quite a tough stand that the pilots are taking in some way against the government, isn't it?
One thing we have to understand, Daniele, is that Lufthansa is not Air India. It is, the government may have a few shares in the company, but it's primarily a private company, as are indeed the majority of airline companies within Germany. So they're well within their rights to refuse a certain request that may come from the government. That having said that, the second point to remember is that you should look at the trajectory and the flight path that flights take from Germany to Afghanistan. Look at the countries they fly over. It's commonly thought that, flights just fly as the crow flies, so to speak, take the shortest flight path. But that's not true. Airlines tend to prefer to fly over land as far as possible and tend to avoid water bodies like oceans for safety reasons. Now, having said that, safety is the key. That's the prime thought behind any airline or any pilot refusing to fly a certain sector. And though, sections of the media may want to see a certain, political correctness in this move, I think that safety is the primary reason. And why? Because these are deportees being returned from Germany to their homes. If you look at the flight trajectory, it crosses countries where the situation on the ground is pretty volatile. And Afghanistan itself is very much still wrecked by war. So no airline company and no pilot in the world would want to take that risk. Now, how that is interpreted, by sections of the media or who would like to interpret it in a certain way, that's a different story. But I do not think that there is any other thought behind this other than the primary thought of safety and security.
Interesting point well taken. And when it comes to the refugee policy, the European Union has been deporting Afghan refugees for a while now, stating that Afghanistan to a certain extent is a safe country. That doesn't look really true to us, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we are, you cover Afghanistan extensively yourself, and you know that it's still a very volatile ground situation. But it's not just Afghanistan, Daniel, as I, said before. Just the entire, belt of countries between Europe and Afghanistan, it is a risky flight. Remember that, flights have been shot down, reportedly by accident, perhaps reportedly not. All kinds of things have happened, and nobody right now, and also not to forget deportees on board from a country where there is a volatile ground situation. There is, air terrorism, ground terrorism raging across the world. I don't want to sound, like a doomsday scenario person, but this is, I would, say that 99% any decisions made by any airlines are always primarily in the name of safety and security of the passengers on board, much more so than the cost of the aircraft.
Thank you very much. This was Padma Rao, our senior foreign editor. Thank you, Padma, for putting us into perspective the decision of 222 pilots of the Lufthansa Airlines, the German Lufthansa Airlines, not to fly deportees back to Afghanistan from Germany.